Good morning, students. We were taking the chapter The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. In our previous videos, we had discussed about the French Revolution, Civil Code of Napoleon, and its various points. Now, in today's video, we will be discussing the age of revolutions from 1830 to 1848, Romanticism, and other points. So let's start. These are the topics which we will be covering under this class. Nationalism as an idea, defining a nation state, types of nationalisms, and various types of liberalisms according to various sections of the society. Nationalism as an idea. We all know that French Revolution had created an idea of nationalism among the people, and it inspired many of the other countries also to do the same. In 1815, after the downfall of Napoleon, the Bourbon dynasty was restored in France. But the educated middle class did not accept this dynasty and their conservative ideas. So that resulted in various other revolts or revolutions also. So in 1830 also the age of revolution started, in which Bourbon dynasty was overthrown and new ruler was elected, and that only resulted in the French Revolution of 1848. So this 1830 to 1848 time period inspired many of the European countries to revolt against various injustice done to the common public by their rulers. So let's discuss all of them. Nationalism emerged as a force in the 19th century, and it brought sweeping changes about in the political and social thought process of Europe. Like here in the photograph also you can see various representatives of different states during Berlin Conference. During that time only, 1848, a series of paintings were made by a famous painter called Frederick Soriot depicting freedom from absolutist rule. And it is being said that emergence of nation states was hailed by him only. He had created a series of 3 paintings. Defining a nation state. Nation state is an area in which a centralized power exercises sovereign control over a clearly defined territory. The commonness of the nation state was forced through struggles and through the actions of leaders and the common people. Ernest Renan. He was a French philosopher who delivered a lecture at the University of Sorbonne on the topic, "What is a nation?" According to him, a nation is the culmination of a long past of endeavor, sacrifice, and devotion. So therefore, nation is an entity formed by large-scale solidarity. Now let's see the meaning of nationalism by different people and different sections. Liberalism. Liberalism was the type of movement created by the educated sections of the society, and they created different meanings according to their needs and demands. So this liberalism emphasized on individual freedom and equality for all before the law. Now, ideology of social liberalism. According to the supporters of socialists, liberalism means end of autocracy, end of clerical privileges, formation of a new constitution, and inviolability of private property. They believed in liberty, equality, and fraternity. Now, ideology of political liberalism. According to this, they demanded every section's equality before the law, right to vote granted to men owning property but not given to the women. Now, according to the economic liberalism, for them It was freedom of market from restraint, removal of state imposed restrictions on movement of goods and capital. And during that time only, creation of the customs union was done at the initiative of Prussia, and it was joined later on by 39 German states. Creation of a network of railways was also being done for the free movement of goods and people from one place to another. Now, the Zollverein. It was a custom union formed in 1834 by Prussia, and later on it was joined by Germany also, which was a confederation of 39 states under Napoleon. According to the Zollverein, each region had its own weights and measures, but this union abolished all the tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies from 30 to 2. So this way you can say economic unification was created among the European countries. Let's see if you are able to answer this question. The Zollverein or German Customs Union was formed during 1832, 1834, 1835 or 1836. The correct answer is 1834. The Zollverein or German Customs Union was formed in 1834 AD. Now, Romanticism. During 19th century, everybody had realized that culture has played a very important role in creating nationalism, and this Romanticism focused on emotions, intuitions and mystic feelings. Like a very famous philosopher, Johann Gottfried Herder, he emphasized that German culture to be discovered among the common people, and for that he had written a book also, Das Volk, or you can say the folk. Folk songs, folk poetry and folk dances popularized the true spirit of the nation. So according to Romanticism, everybody started creating nationalism through various forms of art, culture, songs, language, paintings, etc. Like for example, here you can see collective identity was created through music, dance and opera. A very famous person, Karol Karpinski, he used opera and songs in Poland to create nationalism. Polish dance, Polonaise and mazurka played an important role in creating nationalism or united feeling among the people, and a stress on Polish or vernacular dialects was given in the schools. Famous paintings were also created to create the feeling of nationalism or romanticism, or you can say patriotism. Like in this you can see a famous painting which is showing a massacre at island of Chios, in which around 20,000 Greeks were killed by the Turks, but through this painting they tried to create a feeling of pride and nationalism among people. Same way, folk tales and stories written by Grimm's brothers in Germany also emphasized on the feelings of collective identity. Now, in this module, we will be seeing conservatism and the revolt. National identity and social culture. Autocratic monarchies rule diverse people, and during that time no common identity or culture used to be there. Like for example, the Habsburg Empire had both German and Italian speaking people. And not only that, you can say Hungary people spoke Magyar, while in Galicia Polish was spoken. The powerful aristocracy. Aristocracy used to be very powerful and used to have the socially and politically support of every section. They had a luxurious life and were full of landed classes. They spoke French and had common marriage ties. They owned country and town houses, and numerically maybe they were very less in the society, and majority of the population were peasants, but still all the lands and powers were under these aristocratic rules only. Industrial age and its impact. Industrialization had the following effects on the society: appearance of new social groups, creation of the working class and middle class comprised of industrialists, businessmen, and professionals. Now, this educated middle class, they instigated the idea of national unity during the 19th century. Conservatism in 1815. After the downfall of Napoleon, when Bourbon dynasty was restored in France, they dominated the conservative ideas or autocratic rule. They established traditional institutions like the monarchy and the church to remain strongly in power. And they also maintained efficient army and strong bureaucracy to control each and every section of the society. They abolished the feudalism and serfdom. Vienna Settlement. This is one of a very important settlement which was signed after the downfall of Napoleon among the French army and the European combined forces of Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria in 1815 at the place called Vienna. Now, all these powers had collectively defeated Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo. They all had supported the Duke of Wellington during this battle. In this photograph also you can see it clearly. Now, Vienna Congress was hosted by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. In this photograph it's clear. Now, the settlement aftermath. After this Vienna policy or agreement, the Napoleon's policies and rules were undone. The Bourbon dynasty was restored in France and reoccupation of territories which were annexed by the Napoleon. And not only this, following states surrounded France from all the sides so that in future France cannot have the expansionist policies like under Napoleon it had done. Netherlands with Belgium, they got power in the north. Genoa was added to the Piedmont in the south. Austria given the control of northern Italy, and Russia was given the part of Poland in east. So this way you can say France was surrounded from all the sides by the winning powers. Censorship. Conservative regimes imposed various censorship laws. These ideas about French Revolution, which were displayed in plays, newspapers or songs, they all were curbed or controlled. Result of suppression. Due to the suppressions done by the ruling monarchs, in Europe, state censorship led to the formation of secret societies or Jacobin societies where revolutionaries were trained. They opposed monarchical governments and fought for freedom, and people saw the necessity for creation of individual nation states. And that only you can say resulted in the various revolutions in different parts of Europe. Age of revolutions. Mazzini, one of a very famous revolutionary, he was the member of secret society of Carbonari. He founded Young Italy movement at Marseille and also founded Young Europe at Bern. All these members were like-minded young men from all parts of Europe, and during that time only Duke Metternich had called Mazzini as the most dangerous enemy of the social order. Now, July Revolution 1830. Let's see the age of revolutions, how they started. Bourbon dynasty was overthrown by liberal revolutionaries. Installation of a constitutional monarchy had taken place. Louis Philippe was made as the new head of France and led to an uprising in Brussels, with Belgium breaking away from Netherlands by getting inspiration from the July Revolution in France. Greek War of Independence. These conditions led to the Greek War of Independence also. Now, Greece was under Ottoman Empire since 15th century. So they also started the freedom struggle after 1821. Romanticism was at its best as Greece was considered as the cradle of civilization, and during that time only a very famous English poet called Lord Byron also organized funds for this war. He also fought for the Greeks, but he died of fever in 1824, and finally in 1832 all the Europeans forced the Ottoman Empire to sign the Treaty of Constantinople, and Greece was given independence. Economic hardships and revolt. 1830 onwards, Europe had faced lots of economic hardships. Lots of reasons were there, like rise of population in various parts of Europe. Sudden increase had resulted in lots of economic problems, and large scale migration from rural to urban areas for employment of the people. Bad harvest also led to the food shortages, and small scale producers in towns faced competition from English machine made goods. And all these things resulted in economic hardships. Now let's see the revolt of the weavers of Silesia 1845. In Silesia, a revolt was led by weavers against the contractors, and the main reason for the revolt was low payments to workers. Workers demanded higher wages, but it was not accepted by the contractors, and they cancelled the contract. So all these weavers, they attacked over the contractors, the factories, and shredded all the cloth and everything, but many weavers were shot down in this revolt. Now, revolt of 1848 in Paris. All these economic hardships and population growth, Louis Philippe was not able to solve these problems of the common people. So, because of the food shortage and widespread unemployment, all the common people came to the roads of Paris, and that resulted in the revolt of 1848. Louis Philippe first was forced to flee. A national assembly proclaimed a republic, and a suffrage right was granted to all the males above 21 years of age. Now let's see if you are able to answer this question. Find the odd one out from the given options with respect to the Congress of Vienna. Britain, Austria, Russia, and France. Are you able to find out? The correct answer is D, France. France was not the member of Vienna Congress. Actually, this was signed against France by the winning powers of other one. So till here in today's class, I hope you all must have understood. In next class, we will be discussing the unification of Germany and Italy. What were the various situations and conditions which led to their unifications. So see you in the next class.